In this video, I'll demonstrate how to create a gear in Fusion using an add-in. An add-in is a small program that extends Fusion's basic functionality for specific use cases, such as creating spur gears, such as the one shown here. This is a Pinion gear from Vex Robotics. The VEX parts are used within the engineering pathway classes to build various robotics and program them to do tasks. And so this gear comes from the small metal gear that attaches directly to one of the VEX motors drive shafts. Here we've got the drawing that shows the dimensions we need to recreate it. And so we can see that with gears, the way they work is you can transfer movement from one gear to another. And we'll learn about their various properties going forward and the way that they can be used for trading rotational speed for torque or vice versa to customize a gear system for any given application. Here's the VEX V5 website in which you can see some of the types of robot parts that we work with. And so gearing systems can be used within the arm in order to achieve the necessary torque, that is power, to be able to lift the arm. So I'm going to minimize my window here and get Fusion fit to the side. To access the add-ins in Fusion, you'll go up to the Utilities menu here. And under that Utilities menu, you'll go to Add-ins. And then you can choose Scripts and Add-ins. And you'll get a list there. Quite a few different types. And we need a spur gear. And so if you click one with just the arrow, that just loads it up for the one time, but I think it is more convenient to just have it be running to allow us to pick it from the menu. So I'm going to click there. Now it tells me that the spur gear command has been added to the create panel of the model workspace. So I'm going to go back over to the solid modeling workspace here, and then go to create. And down at the bottom now I've got this spur gear option. So I'm going to select that, and it wants some information which is listed here. So the first thing that it's going to need is the diametral pitch, which you can see here is described as the number of teeth per inch of pitch diameter. And so if we go to our calculator here, this is a 12-tooth gear. So we divide 12 by the pitch diameter, which is listed on a drawing as being 0.48, and we get 25, and so that's the number we'll enter right here, 25. The next thing we need is the number of teeth, which, as I mentioned, was 12. Backlash we'll just leave as 0. This is just allows for play and might vary per design. We need the root fillet radius here, that's given there as 0.02. The gear thickness we can see here is 0.25, and so set that gear thickness 0.25, and then the hole diameter for now, because we have a square and not a circular hole, I'm just going to leave that 0, and we'll make that at the end. I'll press OK. You can see that the gear has been started. Next, we just need to add a couple of lofts for these additional spaces. And so I'm going to orientate towards top. And it tells me that the first circle that I'm going to need is 0.28. So I'm going to create a sketch. I'll click on that top surface there, and then go to center diameter circle and draw one that is 0.28. 0.28, I'll type that in, 28. And then I'm going to need I'm going to go and finish the sketch there. So then the next thing I'm going to need is to create an offset plane, because we've got a little bit of a 0.02 lift there. And so I'm going to start here. I'm going to raise that up 0.02 above there. Press OK. I'm going to create a sketch and do it on that plane I just made. Do the next diameter circle, which is 0.26 there. 0.26. And I'll finish that sketch. Now I should be able to loft from one to the other. Hopefully. Create, loft. Let's see. It seems like this sketch actually got on the bottom plane there. So I'm going to just delete that sketch, redo it. And so I've got the one above it. I just need the first layer, create sketch, make sure I'm on that one this time. I clicked on the wrong spot. I might have got the origin plane instead. So that was 0.28 here. Press up finish sketch. Now I should be able to do that loft. Choose, go to create, and loft. I'm going to click on the bottom and then on the top. There's that first loft. We've got a taper angle there. Should be good though. I'm just going to go and orientate back to the top. And I still have my first sketch, which I could turn back on. I need to do that. It hides automatically after you use it, but I can turn that back on so I don't have to redraw it. And then I will need to construct another offset plane here. I will then start at that first height level, and I'll bring that one up 0.02 as well. That's OK. Then go to create sketch, choose the plane I just made. Then the next layer one is 0.23. I'll finish that sketch, and then I'll create another loft from that to this. Just OK. And that looks like I've got the thing, so... Oh, nope, I do not, because I have a straight part of 0.2 first, and so I actually should have extruded it before I lofted. And so I can just delete that sketch instead, and then do a extrude here, up 0.02. So I have that straight part first. Then I'll construct the offset plane, go up 0.2 more, create my sketch, that, get the center, 0.23, finish sketch, create loft, here to here. Oh, must have got the wrong spots. Try that again. Create loft, here to here. There we go. So now I've got it right. So there's sort of a curve inwards, then it goes straight up, and then it curves again inwards. We've got the final height. So now I've got that whole section, and it's currently as one body, but I don't have the bottom section. In order to speed this process along, what I can actually do is, at this point, of course, should have saved it a while ago, but the point one, so I'll just call this example gear. You should probably call it, actually maybe something like, this is a 12-tooth pinion gear Vex, something like that. I'm going to put example on mine. You maybe not have that on yours. So give it a good descriptive name. And so after I have that done, the way I can reproduce this part on the bottom is I could go to split body, so modify split body, and I'm going to select that body, and wants to know what splitting tool I'm going to use. I'll use the face here, that top face of the gear. You can see it highlighted. I'll press OK, and so that separates that top section that I've made from the bottom. And so then I'm going to press M to move. I'll press that. It says it's on bodies, and I can click on the create copy right there. And so then I'm going to rotate this around 90 degrees, or 180 degrees, sorry, 180 degrees. And then I'll bring it down the height of my gear, which was 0.25. Plus, I guess I need the additional 0.6 from 0.06, so it was 0.31 here. And so now, after I go down 0.31, it's in place, it matches, and so at this point I can then go to modify, or click combine here. I could just click the 3 parts. Actually, in order to do this correctly, I need to get the middle first, and then it'll let me do the top and the bottom at the same time. I'll press OK. And so once again, I have just one body here. And the gear is almost done. The last thing to do is to create the hole and through it. And so I'm going to go to create sketch. I'll click on it, and then for this I'm going to use the center rectangle so that I can get that right in the middle. Needs to be 0.13 on each side, 0.13, tab, 0.13, and then that should match that. And so I'll finish that sketch, press E to extrude, get it, and then I can go to object and then click the bottom. I'll go all the way through, and there is the gear.